All right. So going over today is just some stuff before if I ever become popular, people are gonna talk about this bullshit. So I just get it over now when I'm young and not popular and whatnot. If happens, so people can't be like, "You're a bullshitter, you're a liar." So I mean, you could just read this and just kind of just skip this video, but I'm going to talk about it in slightly more detail because these are just footnotes. The worst subscription I ever had for my myopia, because I am blind as hell, literally more than 6 inches from my phone, or literally from my thumb to the tip of that finger. If I'm looking at a phone with standard text, I can't read the text. Like that's how fucking blind I am. Or if you ever see like blurred out faces, not like pixelated, but like blurred out, if you stand more than 2 feet away from me, it's pretty much the equivalent of that. Anything beyond 2 feet, oh hell yeah, I can't make out your face really. I can tell based off your body and what you wear and stuff. Like I can see colors, obviously, it's just really blurred out, so I can tell who it is generally. But that's it. Um, oh, and then just to kind of prove that technically I'm not lying, is that who in their right mind at this point would buy this many glasses? And I have plenty more than that. And look, my name, and you now know I live in Orlando. But this is for astigmatism. So negative 6.0s. This is the latest one, 23. I was negative 6.5 on an old paper from years ago, but my vision slightly improved. And then also negative 5.5 is because I'm getting new computers because how this shit works. And then actually having the contact lenses because legally you can't buy or obtain them without a prescription. So somehow I got those, and I'm just gonna tell you, it's because I actually am blind. I'm not bullshitting. This is if in the future I don't actually go through with LASIK, and then people are like, "Oh, you used to wear glasses. Are you lying or this or that?" No, I actually fixed it. Maybe. Now, because of what I've seen, it looks like it's possible. Personally, I don't put that much effort into it because I'd rather concentrate on doing business and games, and I just like games, honestly, and doing shit. So I may not fix my vision, like all the way to the point which I won't need glasses, but it's a goal. I currently weigh 190. Like this is like without clothes and stuff, but I don't know. Let's see what it says right now. See, 190.8, whatever. I am exactly 5'10 and a half, if you want to be really specific. Like, this is without shoes. This is if on a good day, I'm not slouching. I've never been able to get myself to be a true 5'11. But it's hilarious because when you're 5'10, um, most people know what the real 6 foot is. And obviously, if I'm wearing shoes, I'm equivalent of 6 foot. But all the guys out there who happen to be 5'7", 5'8", sorry guys, that you got the bad luck. But almost every single one of you is like, when someone asks, you always say 5'10". But I know that's bullshit because I am actually 5'10". And then like these guys are wearing shoes next to me, and I'm also wearing shoes. So let's just say the shoes cancel out. So it's a fact they're at least 2 inches shorter than me. Um, that's life, but I put hand scar because I mean someone will probably mention or see in the future. So when I was about 2 years old, I was playing on the end of a treadmill, and my hand went underneath, and then blammo, my hand got fucked up. Functionally, it's fine. I mean, a little bit bending, but yeah, look at it. Don't feel any pain from it and anything. Happened really young, barely remember it. And then also, I don't know if there's a good way to show it. No, I don't know, flip this yet. Hopefully you can see it, but you see this ear? Probably. It's like out. And then this ear is like fine, like normal stuff. Hopefully that came on video good enough. All right. Next one, weightlifting, because people, I'm planning on finding a way. I cannot justify going to a gym and like wasting the time to drive there and then doing scheduling. But I technically got a home gym now. Like I got the big weight rack. I've got a few hundred pounds of stuff. I just don't use it yet in any real sense. But if you were to take my best records ever, I did weightlifting for half of my senior year, and I got to 155 bench press. I started at 135 with really bad form, and I ended like 6 months later with 155, one rep, still not that good form. Naturally, I have some pretty good legs. Like I used to bike to school, I used to do lacrosse and marching band, and I just like running in general. Um, oh, my fastest mile ever was 6:26, if that matters. But I naturally have large calves because I tend to walk on my toes a little bit. It's from my dad. So I naturally have nice calves, nice calf genetics. But people also say it's funny because I run or gallop like a deer, and it's not as bad as me. But my dad, like, he permanently walks on his toes. But as we walk, you kind of see us like bounce up and down. 285 squat, just because my legs. And then even though people somehow usually typically can deadlift less when they squat, I actually happen to deadlift a lot more. And I will say this much, whether or not you want to believe me, but like when I deadlift, no, I could probably do 395 or 405. This is during my senior year. Like I started at like 225. And that was just because I never did deadlifting in any real sense. Like I've never lifted that much weight. So I just started off slow. But like, and then at the end of the year, I just said, I'm going to put on multiple plates. I just kept going. Now I could feel it in my back. I could probably pull muscle or fuck myself up and have a permanent injury and be in forever pain because I already fucked up my foot once and I already fucked up my shoulder and this has been like 5 years on, and like I can still feel the pain every day. So deadlifting, raw strength, I could do 405, but officially I've only done 355 because I could just tell if I pushed myself, if one little fuck up, and that's it for me. The proper pull-ups was during a summer in which I started working out, and I actually started doing pretty good, like with Athlean-X and following a routine. I followed for like 2 or 3 weeks, and then I fucked up my foot, and then I just gave up. But I went from being able to do literally one bad pull-up and like a few Australian pull-ups or whatever. It's something, whatever. It's not a real pull-up. And within 2 weeks, I got all the way up to 9 consecutive, like proper pull-ups. Maybe like the last one or two weren't amazing, but every single one, chin over the bar, hands forward. I'm not talking about chin-ups. I'm talking about real pull-ups. So that was neat. Just for reference, I mean, eventually I'll show pictures. I'm not a pictures person. I can't really find or have them on my phone, but I was a fat kid. And the only reason I'm not necessarily fat now is I think it was 8th grade, but like I was like 5'2", 5'3", and then indirectly the reason why I'm actually like relatively fit now, like I run, I'm more active, is purely because I used to take the bus to school, and then the bus driver fired or something, so we always had to take this substitute bus. My house was about 2 or 3 miles down the road. This substitute bus would drop off their kids' routes first, and then they'll go drop us off. So they actually went past our bus stop, and it would literally, I did the number. It took like 45 or 55 minutes on average after the bus left the school. So I just started walking home. And then because I was fat and a little insecure, even though I never got bullied, but whatever. I obviously being fat isn't fun, and then also I don't really hang out with people. I don't like hanging out with people. I'm not really into sports or drugs or really anything fun. I'm just not into things fun for most people, and I'm not enough of a nerd to go hang out with another nerds because I think they're also stupid. I'm like in between. Um, but yeah, I started walking home, and then I started jogging home, and then one day I saw a man jogging. Like I would jog like a few hundred feet, and every day I'd be like, I'm gonna jog 20 feet. Literally, I started at like jogging 20 feet. And then the next day I tried jogging 30 feet and then 50 feet. And there was just like stop sign that was like a quarter mile from the school. And I never really jogged past that. But one day I was jogging, and then some actual guy like in his 30s was jogging by. And then I was like, you know what? I'm gonna keep jogging with him until he stops or whatnot. And this fucker kept walking, running or jogging relatively so, like 9 minute, 10-minute mile pace, all the way to not my house, but like past my neighborhood, which was at least 2 miles away. And I went from not being able to jog worth a shit even without a backpack. But with my school backpack, it was relatively light because when I was walking home, I decided to like get rid of everything other than absolutely necessary. But I went from not being able to do a mile continuous to running 2 miles because yeah. And then that started the fact that I started biking to school, and then I started getting more fit, and also at the same time, this was seventh and eighth grade. Seventh grade was when I started doing that, and then eighth grade I started biking to school. I was still fat, like I was fat, but I was fit now, so I was still 180 pounds, 5'4", whatever. And then towards the end of eighth grade, early freshman year, I started growing. So now I'm still the 180, but I'm also biking because if I'm gonna do something, I like to do it fast. So like I always like fucking bike to school as fast as I physically could. I'd always get to first class, first period, sweaty as hell, and I couldn't give a shit. And then also because I never really talked to people, um, I usually smelled like I put on deodorant, I do all that, but like I just never really paid attention. And then for a long time, and even now, I can't smell too well. So other people would typically like smell a stench. It'd have to be a little bit stronger for me to care, or maybe I can smell just as well as other people, but in my mind, I just don't give a shit. Who knows? Um, Next one. Never had anything other than 2-pack abs. Right now, like I actually dropped down. I started doing carnivore diet or this or that. I dropped down to like 155, 160 once, but this is like when I was fasted. I didn't have any water or anything. But right now at 190, I mean, this is better than most of the people. I technically say 4-pack, but I'd rather say 2-pack, really, or whatever you want to call it. And that's sucked in, that's relaxed, and that's extended. But whatever. So I'm not terribly fat. I used to have whatever the thing that made me have man boobs when I was in seventh and eighth grade, but it disappeared. I think gynecomastia. There you go. I used to have a little bit of that. Girls were jealous. Um, and then I grew middle class. Oh, just for reference for me. So like I am not low class by any way. I'm not poor. But just for reference, I'm just going to read this quote for quote. I am middle class, not upper middle class. I did not get a car. I paid for my own car. What did happen with my first car is I paid for my car payments. My parents did pay for my insurance until I had an accident, which was my fault. But like most kids don't even get that. I have no kids right now where they literally got a car from their parents, fully paid off. They pay for the gas. I mean, maybe the kid pays for gas, but that's because they're being stupid. But initially, the parents would pay for the car, the insurance, and the gas, and it's a new car, a relatively new car, like not some junker $5,000 car. They would get them like a $20,000-$30,000 car. Everyone knows who those people are. I didn't have that. Now, technically, I could have, but my family really prioritizes food. Literally, like I have a deli slicer and a nice toaster, and look, I'm even making beef right now and rice. Like we're a food family. Now, not necessarily that we cook our food, but like that's our priority. So even to this day, 21-year-old, still live with my parents. Obviously, I'm saving money and trying to move out. I've got like 6,000 saved right now. I used to have 16,000. It's a different story. I tried a lawn care business. I completely fumbled it in every way and blew through $16,000. But I'm trying because I don't really want to work for other people if I can. I like to work on my own ideas. But so I am middle class. I have the equivalent of having a car, but I never actually had the car paid off by my parents. So I eat easily $20 worth of food on average per day. Some days I might just eat literally just some rice and maybe not anymore, but like some ramen or some cereal. But other days I will go make a ribeye steak, and I will have that steak. Plus I'll have another thing that's expensive. I'll have two steaks. I don't know. It's just, but I'll make it a $40-$50 a day. But if you would average it across a month, $20 minimum if you were to do the highs and lows. Now, if I made 100% of my food at home, you could say 12 to 15. But like I specifically went to Longhorn. There was like I had this period where I went to Longhorn like 12 times in a month. And it's a ripoff of the steak, but it tastes great. But it's a 20-ounce outlaw ribeye. I only get the ribeye, and I'd pay the minimum 5% tip to go pick it up. At least with after COVID pricing, it's $44 landed. But yeah. Can I flip this around? I feel like you don't really just want to look at my feet. Well, this is not flipping around anytime soon. But yeah, I have the equivalent in my own ways. I currently live completely rent-free. I mow the lawn. I think I wrote that on here. I don't know. And I clean up after myself. Like, my mom likes doing dishes and like doing my laundry on occasion, but other than that, I do everything else for myself. I'm not a burden in any other way other than the few financial things, which was as a kid, they don't give me anything extra. If I want extra, I work for it, I pay for it on my own. But no, I was never in any real sense scared to not get another meal. Was I scared as a little kid to not get exactly what I wanted? Oh, I wanted to get McDonald's today. No, you can't have McDonald's today. That's really the extent of my food. And then my parents would pay for, like, we don't really go on vacation too often, at least in the past, or like if it was a whole family get in the car. We don't take airplane rides to places. We don't go to, even if we live in Florida, for my younger years, because this is all tying to the 2008 crash. My dad does a small software business on the side. It's literally just him. But prior to 2008, that thing was doing well. Like, we would be upper middle class. But I was born 2002, so I was 6 when that happened. So after the age of 6, I am middle class. Prior to that, if that weren't going to be an issue, no, I would definitely be one of those kids who. That's why I grew up very initially spoiled. Like, I don't really remember what, but like, they could have. And I also have a brother and sister that are older than me, so they were also getting more of the money. But I don't know. That doesn't matter. But point is, I became middle class. That's what I am. I don't need to explain anything else about that. Water. Currently, I'm 21. -6.5. I am a combination of white and Filipino. My mom's also tiniest bit Spanish. So without taking a real test, I am half white, and then the other half is like 45% Filipino, and then supposedly 4 or 5% Spanish. I have size 9.5 feet. I am 5'10.5" on a good day, 5'10" on an average day. 21 years old. What other bullshit things would people ask? I barely graduated high school. Not that I couldn't. I'm lazy, and also COVID happened, so it kind of sucked. So I kind of really lost all reasoning to do high school because it happened spring of junior year. So the last half of junior year sucked ass in senior year, and then let's think. I don't know. Someone would also give a shit about other things about me, but these are the main things, and this is just a historical video to say, bullshit, you fucking piece of shit. You don't know me. And that's it.